Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Starsector. Welcome back to the Valkyrians run. You may notice we are not quite where we were at the end of last episode. I went home, I considered the fleet, and kind of rewatched the footage a little, and was like, well, you know, maybe I do need to change it up. So what I've done is spent a ton of money, scraped all of the D-mods off of this Yoshura, added neural interface to it so I can swap back to the Nirvana Mark II if I need that kind of power. I've refitted it a bit, and today we are going to be combat testing it and maybe doing some colony crises. Notably, we haven't looked at them in a while, but we have the light GR lances and the heavy GR lances on here. It takes 15 stacks of buildup to trigger a burst of EMP on an enemy ship. Behold, the fire rate. I think that's going to accumulate more than 15 stacks. So we're going to see how that goes via live testing. I'm still not sold on any of the Valkyrian destroyers. Still watching this little guy here. Don't know how he'll do. But I had originally planned to play on a little bit without you guys, but then I popped in and was like, oh, you know, there's a lot of very interesting bounties around. Some ships that maybe we haven't seen. This heavy platform hauler here and the Gretchen. So I think we're going to go chase this bounty. He's in a pretty easy place to find. Giant primary star. There's only one. Giant primary star, barren world. So we're going to go over there. And after we've done that fight, assuming that we succeed, I think it will be finally time to press escalate on the colony crisis button here and see what we get. Start clearing those if possible. Ooh, fleet chasing me. Ooh, big pirate with a little battle station attached. Well, you know, they've caught me. So I guess we're going to start with pirate combat. Fighting that station will at least be interesting. Alright, small ships, Eradicator, Carrier, and Destroyer first. Looks like we can fit the Elegy onto the field as well. Let's go. Other than the pirate battle station, this should be pretty straightforward. Infernium drive away, or rather toward the enemy. Yeah, this guy is real big. What is his armor value and stuff? Yeah, he's very tanky, the Yoshura. We'll see how he does. As always, I prefer not to drive things that feel slow, and this guy feels a little slow, but he at least has the Infernium drive to get pretty regular boosts of speed. Alright, we have basically taken the field before they could even capture a point. Side effect of most of our larger ships having Infernium drive. Let's just close forward and try and push the enemy up against the back wall. Oh, that's why they haven't taken anything. They deployed the orbital starbase first, which has eaten up quite a bit of their deployment points. It doesn't show how much, but I think it's like a 150 DP ship. Air quotes around ship. Because of that, we're going to cancel our escort orders, start fighting the small stuff, and then worry about the, oh my god, the damage. That Buffalo didn't stand a chance. But yeah, deal with their small ships, and then deal with the starbase. Oh, we do have a lot of soft flux buildup, firing all those GR lances though. Let's close in. Oop, taking fire. So the thing about this mobile starbase is that the outer modules here are all thrusters, and if you can defeat those, then it will stop moving, and you can then take it down. I'm just gonna throw a barrage of all of my missiles into the fray. So there's one thruster down. We'll active vent. Gonna take it a minute. Ship is very flux hungry. Oh, those are stacks of harpoons. Okay. Well, you harpooned me. Screw it, we're not going to focus the thrusters. We're going to take down these outer modules as quick as we can. But yeah, it's really hard to use this in combat, whether via the AI or the player, but it's really awesome that it exists. Honestly, this thing might be a candidate for shield shunt, given just how much flux we generate. Alright, rotate. We're going to active vent while we rotate. I'm going to be brave. We rotate so slowly. Alright, turn and attack the main module. Just throw all the missiles at it. This is the most threatening thing they have, basically. That's the good stuff. And look at all those disables going off as the GR lances do their work. And we get those bursts of lightning. Lightning EMP. Bring him down. Okay, there we go. Starbase done. Crack that mule, and we're just gonna fly back into our own lines here in case they deploy a ton of ships. Oh yeah, and see there's a regular pirate fleet just deployed after the starbase. If you ever see a fleet with 2 or 3 starbases, be very careful, because it's a lot of just sheer attrition that they can do with that much ship on the field. Sorry, little frigates of mine, I need to go this way, and y'all need to move. And there is that Valkyrian destroyer just getting wrecked by a falcon, a pirate falcon. I don't think we're recovering that Elysium. He's continued to disappoint me. You might say he's disappointed me for the last time. Alright, into the fray. Let's see what the Yoshura can do just by pouring damage down lane. I think to really test this thing we need to find like a hegemony bounty or something. and go toe-to-toe with some onslaughts or similar, because that's really what this feels like, is an onslaught with a bit more mobility, and honestly maybe a bit more gun. I'm not sure yet how it stacks up. It is very satisfying to just roll forward, be a giant potato of death, and watch things explode, though. A nice change from piloting the cruiser that I've been piloting for perhaps too long. And that's them defeated. Again, with the Valkyrians, it either feels like the stuff I'm using is not effective enough to like be relied on, or it's sometimes just feels too effective. Then again, that fight didn't have any bonus difficulty attached, so let's not judge too much yet. Okay, the Elysium got 2 more demods. We're not recovering it. I don't think it's worth it. Let's take the Pirate Grendel instead. Put our spare officer in that, even just on a random autofit. I bet you this gets better results. Okay, that's done. Oh, that was a Vengeance Fleet. We probably did do stuff to the pirates last episode, didn't we? Oh yeah, we fought the station and a ton of their fleets. That was a Vengeance Fleet. I'm curious what the Tier 3 Vengeance Fleet's gonna be like then. Will it be even bigger? That may be something we have to test after Colony Crisis stuff is complete. Special Task Group, just hanging out. Alright. We're just gonna slide on by them. Not gonna worry about it. I am kind of regretting S-modding in Archon Tuning Flux Fog here. I feel like maybe we would have benefited more from Peak Fire to get the bonus fire rate and the flux dissipation. So if I make another one of these, that's something I will definitely consider very strongly. As it stands though, because we have Flux Fog, when I get hit, we gain 20% armor and hull resistance? Or wait, no, not even when I get hit. It's when flux is maintained above 5% for more than 10% of performance time. So basically we're going to have that buff all the time. I assume that it only triggers once and only gives us 20% armor and hull resist the one time. If it triggers more than that, that would be silly. I'll try and pay attention and see if I can feel out how that actually works. And we are finally here at the location of our bounty. Hopefully I didn't take too long. They're still here, right? Yes, they are still here. 17 days remaining. And there they are. Engaging Gindel headquarters. Is there a planet or a base or something here? What? Come back here. What are you engaging? What do you mean engaging headquarters? Makeshift Draconis Alliance nav buoy. Ooh. Maybe there is something here. But anyway, I want this bounty. I want to see what this smart heavy platform hauler is. The Gretchen I believe I've seen before, but not this run. Alright, let's go. 1% bonus difficulty. Very chill. Alright, we can fit most of our ships onto the field, and unless some of the modded ships turn out to be interesting, I kind of expect this to be a steamroll. That's okay. This is going to get us back to about 500,000 credits, which will leave me in a good position to then manually trigger a colony crisis. Crack on with that. So although this fleet is not quite what I envisioned, I think we are ready to do harder stuff. Just basically either do colony crisis or try and actually make war with a faction. And I generally would prefer to have the colony crisis stuff done so that it doesn't interrupt any potential warmongering we may do in pursuit of victory. Okay, there is the smart class. The other thing is we just have a lot of bonuses from being level 15, but we are both fluxed out. Ooh, okay, Hyperbeam Cannon, big hit right through the armor on him. He is fried. Okay, well, I don't know if this is my favorite, but certainly it is strong, and it feels like it handles and turns around a little bit better than the Gloria, but that just might be because we're higher level and have a few more skills that grant maneuverability. I cannot turn on the shield, I will immediately flux out, so we're just gonna keep firing and hope the armor holds. Let me see on the left-hand side there. Editor Ducky, zoom in. As you can see, it says we have Covenant buff, which is from having a capital ship on the field, me, and we have Fog armor. Resistance has been improved, but by how much is what I would really like to know. If you know those numbers, let me know in the comments. Does it stack? Does it only trigger once? Oop, Reaper on the right-hand side. Nope, we're good. Okay, Dominator is a fair challenge. Ouch, Reaper on the nose. I accept. I will trade hits with you guys. We are powerful. Okay, Enforcer, you and your Reaper tubes, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. And let's close the gap on this little Lorica. Already out of missiles to throw, that's okay. Alright, Gretchen, what do you got? What do you do, actually? 3 fighter bays and targeting feed, and it's a phase cruiser. And has rugged construction. My favorite built-in hull mod. Very cool. JaydeePiracy ship, that's what I thought. Good stuff there. But it's probably not going to stand up to the Yoshura staring it down. If I can recover this, though, I would like to have it, because it is very cool. And we could use more fighter bays. On the note of fighter bays, behold, another Ventura with an absurd number of mining pods. Is it not glorious? And it's tanking better than anything else we've shot due to the combination of damper field and maybe a shield? Yeah, it has a shield. Durable little potato. Okay, we're through his armor on his nose. We've got him. We also don't have any armor on our nose, but we're hull tanking. We have the regeneration from elite combat endurance. That'll keep us patched for a minute. Still a lot of enemy ships around. What is our fleet up to? Looks like my other ship is doing just fine. I don't know. Let's turn and help out with that Griffin. Yeah, there we go. Get wrecked. I think on to the next Dominator is the plan. No, I'm not going to bother active venting. I haven't been punished enough to be cautious. Not today. Alright, Dominator cracked. Chasing down. Oh yeah, there's enemy fleet defeated. Let's grab this Apogee while we're here. Come here, Apogee. It's time to die. We are still not through our 50% hull regeneration from elite combat endurance. That is silly. Alright, good job, team. Their remaining frigates are running away. Good stuff. We can recover the Smart. I actually just want to look at its stats here. Yeah, 25,000 hull. Very durable. 2 large composites, 4 medium composites, 2 fighter bays. Kind of a different shaped Invictus with a lot less total hull. 60 deployment points. Could be interesting. That's the kind of thing I would love to use in like a Ludic Church run or something. And it's from JYD Low Tech. Can I recover the Gretchen? I can. We're taking him because he's cool. Secondary loot scoop. And I think it is time. Let's see. We have an officer ready to level up. They gained a lot of levels last episode. They're actually almost both to level 4. Oh, I never did elite skills on all of my officers. Look at them with max level, and they have another elite skill from us having cybernetic augmentation. All your officers get another elite skill. Or can, if you remember to put story points into them, which I did not. So I'm just going to run through these real quick. I do have the story points for the most part. So that's going to make our fleet even more silly. Let's get out of here, head for home, and do some colony crisis stuff. Is there a gate I can take that would like skip some of the intermediary part of the core world? There is. There's a gate way up there. Ouch, rocks. Okay, that gets us over to Gamlin, which is closer. Transverse jump out. Okay, so that eliminates a bit of the travel time. And I am just going to go ahead and go to the Colony Threats tab. I'm going to mash Escalate and see what happens. Bam! What do we got? Ludic Church majority Ludic Church takeover. Still has a number of months before it'll trigger, though, which is kind of awkward. I was hoping to get into the fun big fight here within the next hour, but we apparently have 5 months of time to mess around. I might just sit and AFK that. I'm not sure. Not sure what I want to do. For now, let's fly for home, buy some supplies and fuel. I need to try not to get into fights in my own system, though, because that'll also lower this meter, which would be undesirable if we're going to be clearing these crises via combat. Valkyrian defense fleet still there? Oh, that's why. That's why we're going up so slowly on crises, because defense fleets, you see there, -5 per tick. That's making it not as fast. Still all the weapons. I think I want to change out the Pirate Grendel here for something else. We have a lot of options. Honestly, the Eradicator we had that had the 2 story points, I probably shouldn't have scuttled it last episode. It did really well. Not seeing any Valkyrian ships in storage, however. I think because we're kind of heavy on combat ships. Oh wait, I have the Gretchen. We could just use this. You know what? Let's retire one of the Nirvana Mark IIs for now. We might pull it back out for an actual big fight. For now, let's take the Gretchen and do a little manual refitting. I have 0 hypervelocity drivers. Alright, well, you get a heavy mauler then. Or maybe we'll go closer range and do like heavy needler. And then a little gun to try and cut away at armor. A little light assault gun. Salamanders on the sides. I don't know, we are still basically a carrier. Maybe I should treat it like a carrier and just give it a bunch of pylums and actually switch the guns to just being point defense. Alright, a carrier is you. Stick an officer in it, and we have 1 officer floating. It might be worthwhile to actually ditch a couple officers and tune for hull restoration. I'm not sure yet. We might do that later. Okay, 1 more ship. We need something in the 15-point range. Honestly, I'll take the Pirate Venture. We could use something that can throw heavy missiles from far away. I'm not going to bother manually fitting him. He has the Merv. That's all that matters. Let's find him an officer, though, that has elite missile spec if possible. Like you. And instead of missile autoloader, you're just going to have expanded missile racks. That's not too bad. That's actually only 3 months. We're just going to pass some time then. Nothing on the bounties tab. Okay. We basically just need to fly around and advance the clock. So this is going to kind of be a filler episode, I guess. Let's go look for bounties, for jobs we can do. Let's actually go to Prism Freeport and see if they have anything of notable interest. Actually, another thing, I haven't gone back to pick up my stuff from storage in Yoshura this whole time. I think we had a colony item, and maybe some AI cores in there that would be valuable to grab. There may also be interesting ships. I really don't remember. It's been probably more than 5 episodes, so more than 5 hours of gameplay since I've looked in there. Let's go see what we have. And there's a few fresh bounties coming in that might spend some time profitably. Are we at war with the hegemony? Yes. I did say I wanted to fight an onslaught, didn't I? Hello, little fleet. How you doing? Should I be doing this? Probably not. 57% difficulty. This is what I get for leaving one of the Nirvana Mark IIs at home? Oh, because they have so many officers. Okay, bring it on, game. Show me your moves. Well, we do not have most of the deployment points, for better or worse. Let's try and rush out and grab some points. I think I kind of want my spare ship, the Nirvana Mark II, to kind of hang back. Go over here. Medium escorts for both of us. And we are just going to take the Yoshura and go straight for that sensor jammer. Okay, there's 1 point captured. That's a good chunk of deployment points. Get the elegy and the carrier onto the field. And another chunk of deployment points from a captured point. Okay, we can actually field everyone. That's good. Captured my sensor jammer, however. Don't like that. I'm curious how much harder the game becomes if I leave behind that one Nirvana that we had an officer in. We'll see. Alright, ship down, active vent real quick. That lasher evaporated almost faster than I could narrate. We got on the side there. Oh, Kite, and Kite is dead. Slow and chunky. Let's cap this point. Incoming Dominator. 2 armor shredding guns. That's actually, or wait, no, Mark 9 and Hephaestus assault gun. If it were 2 Hephaestus assault guns, that's probably the worst thing they could bring against me in terms of it's going to hurt me. But we do need to start just killing ships. So let's close to the edge of our range. Yeah, there we go. There's the first pop of the GR lances doing their work, suppressing him. Good. Yeah, if we can play this tip of the range game, we're going to be just fine. But I have severe doubts in our ability to be able to backpedal, just because we're really slow, just like that oncoming onslaught, right? Okay, flux out those 2 ships, keep firing at the Dominator, I want him gone. And we're going to change targets to the enemy onslaught. He who starts shooting first wins, throw all the missiles. And I just want to pause and check what kind of missiles he does have. 4 Sabo pods, okay. That's only going to be a threat if he decides to burn drive, and actually his guns aren't long enough range, except for his TPCs. We are winning this engagement, just due to outranging him, hitting him with the hyper beams and stuff. Alright, I'm going to throw another wave of missiles. Best thing that can happen is for him to die quickly. I think I'll unchain my Nirvana Mark II and let him fight. Drive him back. Oh, Reapers. Okay, good job, point defense. Okay, we're going to turn and face this guy. Throw all our missiles just to get them gone, so I don't have to focus on them. Disable him and drive him back. Yeah, the onslaught is backing up, which is as intended. Yeah, the ship is really strong, but I should have shield shunted it before we left home. Double Storm Needler. Interesting choice, Dominator. But as I was about to say, it is really strong, but its ability to fight is going to be limited just because armor and hull are both limited resources. Want to make sure we're pointed front toward enemy, doing as much damage as possible in exchange. So it's basically how much punishment can I dish out before we need to stop fighting. And at the rate that we crack Dominators, and these Dominator fits not allowing them to duel us, they don't have enough range, I think we're going to get our value. Yeah, and that onslaught is probably retreating, which is just fine. This isn't a bounty or anything, this is just a random fleet I decided to fight, so as long as we get the win, that's fine. We don't need to take down specific targets. And given how powerful I've managed to make this Yoshura with just 2 S-mods, I don't think we need to worry about, using onslaughts or any other factions' battleships. This seems plenty strong enough now that I have enough GR lances to shut down whatever target I'm focusing. Goodbye, little enforcer. But yeah, oh yeah, enemy fleet defeated. Okay, that was super chill. We can probably engage 54% difficulty fleets and not worry about it, basically. That tells me we can gamble a bit more. We'll let them go for now. Nothing I really want to recover. We have a ton of stuff at home, and we're not really hemorrhaging ships here, so take them down. Ooh, Eburn, is he leaving, or is he coming at me? I kind of want to take out this fleet as well. I don't know where they're going. Optunia, I think, is hazard mining. What's the hegemony even doing? Invasion, raids. They're doing a lot of things. Oh yeah, they're trying to blockade hazard mining. Hazard mining is our ally, so think of this as friendly warfare. I said I wanted to finish Colony Crisis before doing stuff like this, and yet here we are. And that's okay. As before, deploy my 2 ships, and whatever else we can fit. I think we'll take the Elegy. No, we don't have enough points. We'll take the Eradicator and the Venture then. As before, hold the Nirvana Mark II kind of in reserve on our half of the field until we've capped some points and can fully deploy the fleet. Looks like we have recovered, all of our missiles and stuff. Nose armor, still not perfect, but I think we're going to be fine. I believe in us. What I really should do is do what the Holy War Covenant hull mod encourages, which is to stack capital ships into the fleet so that we can get those synergistic bonuses. Maybe once I have more money, that will be in the cards. But we've capped 1 point. I think we'll cut the Nirvana loose. I think for, at least in the case of these hegemony fights, for them to actually contest the Yoshura, they would need to form a wide line and then collapse and surround it. Even then, it's still going to be firing and killing whatever's in front. I think we may have reached the, at least in the case of these hegemony fights, the tier of trivializing the game, as discussed last episode. We need to fight larger foes, I say, as I may or may not about to be immediately get humbled by carriers. We'll see. Drive that Eagle back. But yeah, the thing of not just being able to shield tank, though, does put an upper limit on what I can achieve. Reapers. Okay, we're taking 2 of those. Yeah, we can still be countered. There it is. The Reaper barrage got through the point defense, and my shield is front locked, so I can't really defend my sides super well. But that's okay. We have a lot of elite combat endurance HP regen to do. We have a lot of missiles that we can just hurl down lane. Honestly, the missiles recover so fast. I maybe should just put them all in one group and put them on linked, so I'm not clicking 16 times in 2 seconds. But yeah, there's a Legion cracked. There's a Venture cracked. I think we're going to be just fine. Until I see that our hull regen has worn out, then I'll be concerned, but probably unable to do anything other than keep firing. Ooh, that's a lot of Reapers. Good thing he fired directly into our front with them, so our guns as a whole could shoot at them. Those Atroposes, however, ouch, ouch, ouch. Yep, that hurts quite a bit. That Gremlin is doing very good Gremlin work. Okay, now we're below half health. See, we're not invincible. All that talk of confidence 2 minutes ago absolutely shattered. I can shield shunt this without being in a market, right? That's probably what I should do. Or do it at a Sharu, because we are still going to storage. Oh, okay, right side armor is really non-existent. We need to turn and not expose our right flank to that Enforcer. I think we've definitely gotten our money's worth in this fight, though, for the Yoshura. Many ships have fallen. Okay, and hull restoration hull regeneration has stopped. We are just at half health. So I'm going to advance cautiously, and by cautiously, I mean we're going to Infernium drive toward the next target. And that's my version of caution. Point at him. We will use the shield until we're almost fluxed out, just to be certain. I'm watching that Gremlin on the left. I think he is the one that, he doesn't have any missiles. He fired at us earlier, so we'll be fine. Might trade out some of the medium or small guns for more point defense, just to try and cover. Okay, drop the shield. We're too fluxed. Just to try and cover against missiles. Otherwise, we may really struggle against, Persean League fleets and stuff. Have they surrendered yet? No. Okay. 2 Gremlins and an Enforcer. They should be about to surrender at this rate. Yeah, there's the Enforcer gone. And there's the enemy fleet defeated. Very good. Let them go. Consider recovery. Don't care. Take the loot scoop. The most profitable kind of fleet to be attacking is actually, other than, of course, merchant fleets that are carrying heavy armaments, is invasion fleets, because they also carry heavy armaments, which, good sale value and all that. Alright, let's transverse in. Here we are at Asharu. What do we have? What did I leave behind? That's what I want to know. Oh wait, that's the planet. I clicked on the orbital. I'm not used to them having a station. I want the abandoned terraforming platform. I was like, wow, weird that the abandoned platform has a market attached. We have some marines, some fuel, some supplies, probably ships. Yeah, I'm going to tow home all of these Valkyrian ships. I'll leave the rest of the stuff here. And I'm going to leave behind the Valkyrian fuel tankers. I don't think they're super important. Ooh, salvage rig with S-mods. Don't mind if I do. Another Elena. Okay, the rest of this can stay behind. Our main goal here is going to just be to bring home, we'll leave behind the metal, bring home a bunch of the weapons. Oh yeah, there it is. Combat drone replicator. That's going on our planet. Good upgrade to have. So I think we're basically ready to use our planet as our primary storage. Pick up all these goodies we accumulated in the early game. Okay, we're just going to leave behind heavy machinery and some supplies because there's just too much, right? And all of this stuff we're just going to auto fit for now, which should free up a little more space. Grab some of those supplies. Okay. drop into Asharu itself. Don't really have anything to sell. We'll buy a smidge of supplies, have a look at the market. I think probably I am going to want, like, the salvage rig. We may need a bit more sustainability if we're doing back-to-back fights, and adding salvage rigs and such to the fleet is a way to do that. Kind of want that troop transport too. Not like it would cost me much. Just looking to see if they have drone tenders, but they just don't. Okay, I'm going to grab the troop transport just so that we have it in case that becomes relevant. We are eventually going to want to do stuff with Marines, so we'll take that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is about all I have time for this episode, I think. In the next episode, hopefully we will be taking on this Luddic Church incoming crisis. If I remember correctly, I think they send like 4 or 5 heavy fleets to try and invade the planet. Of course, if our planet gets taken from us, we're gonna have to do something with the series. I've kind of been banking on the idea that I can beat all the colony crises, but I don't know. It could go wrong. We could bite off more than we can chew. I don't know. But that's all I have time for. So, if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I'd love to hear from y'all in the comments. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, friends.